What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down good versus bad examples of press release hand techniques. So today we're going to be talking about what you can do to get off the jam and what's going to prevent you from getting off the jam when you're doing these wrong things off the line of scrimmage against a press jam DB who's physical, who likes to get hands on you, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value, but also today we're having a 50% off sale on my website, so our Improve Your Route Running in 10 Days training program is going to be 50% off. So today, only 50% off. You want a route running schedule, step-by-step process to improve your route running in under 2 weeks with specific drills and things you could do to become a better route runner. Very first link in the description, fellas. 50% off today only. Hope you guys could take advantage of this great deal that we're having on my site today only. Let's get started. So first route we're going to be looking at here is from Devonta Adams, and he's going to be swatting the hands off this DB, keeping it nice and simple, okay? So now we're only going to focus off the line of scrimmage, right? Now the common thing is like, oh, Devonta Adams doesn't use his hands, right? He doesn't use his hands. He only uses his feet against press coverage, right? That's completely false. It's just like he's so efficient with it that it almost doesn't look like he needs to use his hands, right? And that's what you guys want to focus on as a receiver. You don't want to make it too complicated. Too many guys think too complicated when it comes to hand technique. They think, oh, I got to swat here, I got to rip here, I got to shrug here, I got to swat, I got to dip my shoulder under here. Keep it simple. Do not try to overcomplicate things, and make sure that we are attacking the points of control, and I have a good pad level position and I'm violent with my hands. After this clip, we're going to be taking a look at a bad clip where this DB gets completely inside this receiver's frame and jams him off the line and stones him at the line of scrimmage, okay? So let's talk about the good things first, then we'll compare those to the bad things. So when Adams comes off the line right here, you see he goes with this kind of like wide step outside this DB's frame, right? And that's what ties in. Your feet will tie into hand technique, right? How you move your feet, the releases, the technique behind your lower half and your upper half ties into hand technique, because that could put you in situations where you could get hands off this DB. Because if I get this DB off his platform and I want to take an inside release, the thing that a lot of people screw up with press releases, they think they got to break this dude's ankles every time. That's not the case. You got to keep timing with your quarterback back in here. So the timing, the whole point of coming down and press as a DB is to screw up timing with the quarterback. I'm coming down and think I'm going to get hands on you so that you're off time with the quarterback and the quarterback has to come off you and go to a different read. That's the whole point of press, is to screw up timing, right? And to knock you off of your route. So if I could get him off of here and I know that I could get him leaning to the outside, I could just take, if I could just take the inside release, so what? He runs hip to hip with me. The separation I create should be at the top of the route anyways, right? So if I'm here and I get this DB off the platform, what arm do I have to beat? I know I only have to beat his inside arm. I don't have to beat his outside. I don't even have to worry about this thing. Just make sure that we come with something simple to get his hands off you. So when he shoots that hand, what does Adams do? He just shrugs underneath, right? He just dips that shoulder, rips underneath with his right arm, and now look what happens. DB's hips lock out. I'm off to the races. I got off a press. I kept timing. That took less than almost 2 seconds, less than a second almost. Well, obviously less than a second, because the quarterback doesn't have all day back there to throw. Less than a second to get off the press, keep timing with your quarterback, and then go. That's the whole reason we work that hand combat. Whole reason we hand fight is to keep that timing with the quarterback. So keep it simple. Another thing that he could have done right here is gone with this move. Maybe he swats with this hand. Maybe he swats him off. He attacks that point of control, which is elbow, wrist, back of the shoulder if you could get it there, and then you rip underneath with this one and go off, right? So it's really, what do you want? He could do another thing here too, but you keep it simple. I don't need to do 20 different things off of here. I don't need to be like, okay, is he going to get hands? I'm trying to read him, and then I spend too much time shattering my feet, and then the play's over, right? So make sure that we get him out of here, get him off that platform. I have a plan to beat his inside arm. That should be your plan. How can I set him up to the outside? How can I take the inside and beat this inside arm if he shoots that inside arm, right? Now, you might ask me, well, what if he stays square? What if he goes here? What if he doesn't move? What if he stays to the inside? You guys still want to do the same thing. You guys still want to be able to fight to get that inside hand off, because if you guys can get this inside hand off and he's trying to sit here and jam, if you swat this inside hand, all he has is a recovery with this left hand, and then he's going to open up his hip. And then if he opens up his hip and you could actually push vertical on the route, we should still be able to get separation, because your separation comes at the top of the route, okay? So it's why it's think full speed again. Great job by Adams. Again, keep it simple, guys. Do not try to do too many things. Do not try to throw this guy off 100 different ways, do 100 different hand moves. Just keep it simple. Get up to the route. Keep timing with the quarterback. And you see how much separation he's able to get even with that, okay? So now we're going to be looking at a disciplined DB who does a really good job of fighting this receiver when this receiver might do a little bit too much dancing, but this receiver can do a little bit better with his hand technique. Let's talk about why. So when he comes off here, you see DB does a great job of getting inside of his frame and completely screwing up the time. This is what we don't want, right? So like, what does this DB want? What does this receiver want to take? He wants to ultimately take an outside release probably, right? So I should have set him up here and I'm focused on just swatting off this right arm. I'm focused on just getting his right hand off of him rather than fighting both hands and doing all this fancy stuff and doing all this dancing with my feet. I should be solely concerned. I come off the line of scrimmage. I maybe give him this one move here. If I want to take an inside release, I'm just concerned about beating his inside hand, right? Right there, he should just be considered about beating his inside hand. We dip underneath, we swat that hand and go, depending on what release that he wanted to take right there. So you guys got to be able to have a plan for that, right? Especially when it's press and he's going to get hands, you guys got to have a plan. What if he plays it correctly? What if he takes away the inside? Okay, fine. I got to do this. I got to do that. You guys got to go through these situations in your head to be able to make a play. Like, let's say, for example, he had to run a comeback, right? And let's say he wanted to take an outside release. So let's say we come off here, we hit him with this one, give him this move to the inside. I should solely be concerned with swatting off this hand. That's it. And being violent and attacking a point of control. We're not going to get him to move if I just swat his hands and I just play almost like patty cake with this guy, right? And that's something that a lot of people struggle with. They just fight the wrist. They just fight the hands. And that's what this receiver did right here. He comes off and you see how he's just fighting those hands, fighting those wrists. And that DB's able to stay strong and stay right in there, right in his chest. He's not going to be able to get any separation that way. So you got to make sure, fellas, you attack the points of control and you know where you're going to be attacking. You want to take an outside release? I got to beat his outside arm. I got to attack that elbow, forearm, and I got to strike firm. I can't just swat at him and just almost like I'm giving him a high five, like a limp fish handshake. I can't do that. I got to make sure that I have a solid strike on either his elbow, back of the arm, forearm, points of control to get him off. And I got to be physical. Don't be afraid to be physical. If this guy's going to get hands on you and he's going to be physical, you see how he's got a strong punch. I got to come at him. And if I hit him in that point of control, which is right where this like white wristband is, I should be able to get his hips to completely turn right here. But if I'm just consistently swatting those wrists, swatting those hands, I'm not going to be able to get any separation from this dude, okay? So make sure that when that guy is going to come off with a physical punch, I know where I want to go. If we could just get this hand off and I push up vertical and he recovers with this left hand, so what? We got off a press. I could push vertical. I could sell with my eyes, do a little peek back, break a comeback. I could just sell with this stem, push vertical, break it off and run a comeback. But it all starts with keeping that timing from the quarterback and not trying to do too much. Okay, so let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Then we'll take a look at one more good example, talk about hitting a point of control, and then we'll get done with this video. So you see how he comes off here again. Just got to make sure we have a plan. Got to make sure we fight those points of control. So we're going to be looking at this route here again. We're mainly just going to be focused on top of the route. And it's not necessarily top of the route. There's more of like a second level release, I guess you can say. But like when we get, again, like the main thing I want to focus on is you see we get that DB to turn his hips. What hand do I got to worry about beating? Just this outside hand, especially when you're running an out route with an outside shade. Like let's go back to this outside press or outside off man, like catch technique, right? Like a yard two off. Outside leverage, I threaten him, I attack him to the inside, I get his hips to commit to the inside, then I want to slip back to the outside. All you got to worry about doing is getting his hands off you. But this guy, this hand is his recovery, right? Especially when you get him to turn his hips, just like we were talking about. You get that DB to turn his hips, you get him to run with you, he puts hands on you, right? The thing about that, the thing that you got to realize is that he's using that as an outlet. He's using that, oh, he beat me, but I'm going to get hands on him and I'm going to make sure I have a good punch. He's not going to be able to get off. How we get that hand off of you, or how we get that hand off us, I should say, is attacking the points of control, which is back of the shoulder, back of the elbow, arm, forearm. And you got to have a solid strike. Make sure you're physical. Don't be afraid to swat this DB off. And you see how he goes here. He swats, shoots over the top, chops him down, and then you see what happens. We got this DB sitting all over the place, not on balance, and I can just continue to widen the gap and get some separation, okay? So there's a perfect two examples of what to do and then a great example of what not to do, okay? So I hope this video gave you guys some value. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time, attack the inside, swat that point of control, then burst back up. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, fellas, again, 50% off sale on our Improve Your Route Running in 10 days training program today only, fellas. This thing will end tomorrow morning, so please take advantage of this sale. If this is something you feel would give you a lot of value, again, 45-minute long video, how to improve your route running in under 2 weeks, step-by-step process, 10 days, step-by-step with specific drills and things you can do to become a better route runner. Check out that very first link in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.